gentlemen, it's your girl Big Show on Black Radio, Atlanta, man, and we are in the cut. And today, I got two authors of the book Ramona, Chastity Gallagher, and Monica Tooks.
Yes,
I got it right. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't say Tooks, or they be like Tooks. So you got it right.
Cool. So today, man, we're here to talk about your book. First thing, give everybody a shout out, and then tell everybody where we can find you on social media.
Well, I'm Chastity. Shout out to my family, of course. My sister, my mom, my kids. But you can actually follow me on Instagram. It's Miss Sade to you, and that's with two Z's. It's ITZZ, Miss Sade to you. That's also on Twitter and on Snapchat, as well as Chastity Gallagher or Chastity Sade on Facebook.
Alright, well, hello everybody. My name is Monica Tooks, and shout out to my family and my village. Y'all already know who y'all are. A lot of y'all can't be naming all of y'all. You can find me on Facebook at Monica Harmonized Tooks, and you can find me on Instagram, Beautiful Harmonized Soul, or you can find me on TikTok as Monica R.A.M.O.N.A 4. So that's all my social media platforms.
Awesome. So my first question is, how did y'all come together on writing the book?
I guess it started how we kind of came together as friends
Right.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So long story short, I was in acting class and I got presented with an opportunity to be on an independent project. And this beautiful woman here just happened to be one of the writers of that project. And so that's how we met. And so we just been friends since then. I was back in
2014?
2014.
Yeah,
It's a long time ago.
wow.
Yeah, so
That's
we've been friends for a long
yeah.
time.
What's up?
And so I think it was one of your birthdays, you had something at your house,
Mm-hmm.
and I came, and I think we were just having a conversation about just being creative and writing music or whatever, and you just kind of put it in both. Like you kind of forget about it, you write something, you just kind of put it to the side, and all of a sudden it comes back to your brain, so you bring it out. And we were talking about that, so the next day she hit me up and was like, remember that conversation we were having? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, I got a book. It's just been in my vault for a while. She was like, I got like maybe 3 or 4 chapters. I want you to read it. And I said, okay. She's like, I just want to know if you want to come on board. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, send it to me. Now, I never wrote a book before. So I took in my hand at script writing, from being in, the industry. But I've never written a book, so I was like, well, I don't want to get on your project and screw this up. So I was like, let me make sure my mind can be go into the book world of that, the fantasy world. Okay. And so when I read, I was like, oh shit, this is dope. I was like, yeah, okay, I can try it. I'm like, all I can do is try it with you. If I'm not that good, tell me the truth, and I will just remove myself because this is your baby, you started this, and you're asking me to come on board, but I would never take on anything if I don't feel 100% confident in it. Yeah. So that's pretty much how we came together to write Ramona.
Awesome.
And that was in 2018.
So you kind of introduced her a little bit into the writing as far as books.
Well, actually, I did more script than anything.
Okay.
Book writing was still new to me, too. I was still learning. And we went through a lot of trial and errors before we got to this point. It took about 11 years for us to get to this finished product. So this is our baby. We put a lot of time and effort and love.
It's a long time for sure. So tell me, what's the difference to you from script writing and actually writing a book?
The one thing that we were really hard on was showing and not telling. We didn't really understand what that meant. Mm-hmm. In script writing, things are a little more cut and paste. You got to kind of you got to move through the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can't put too much detail into it. But into a book, you have to really show your scene. You can't just tell me that the moon is out. You got to show me the moon is out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's really about wordplay, different phrases, different ways of, saying what you want to say in a very creative way. So, yeah. It's nice, though, because it expands your mind a little more. And also your language, your vocabulary grows.
Absolutely. It was always... Because we had a literacy consultant at one point. And so every time we said the chapters, it was the same note. Show us not telling. Show us not telling. I'm like, what do you
Did
mean?
it.
Like,
Right.
you know, like, we
I
are
swear
right, no,
we
we
did
did it. And they'll still be like, no, you're still sure, you're not telling. I'm like, okay, but again, when you're script writing, you're saying like, exterior night, kitchen table, this,
Right.
you know what I'm
And
saying?
then
You have
it's
to
the
put all
camera
that.
person's job
Yeah,
to
when they
give
want,
the
but they're
visual
like she
that.
said, the moon, the glow of the, you know, they want like the glow of the moonlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
explain it to where somebody can actually visualize it.
right.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
different.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah,
So
great.
that
I
was
mean,
like the huge, like we didn't realize how different it was. 'Cause, you know, you reading the script, you're bringing the character to life. But in the book, it's like when you read it, that person, like you said, you have to
You have
visualize
to bring
it
everything
in your mind. That's how I'm with
yeah.
books. If I'm reading something and I can't really watch it like a movie in my head, to me it's just not, it's not connecting with me. So.
I feel it. And so y'all actually kind of came in together on creating it into more like a book. Y'all kind of like developed the skill with together.
Yes.
Wow.
Especially because of the genre. The genre is psychological thriller, and we didn't realize that when we chose this genre, how in depth it really is. Romance too, but this you have to really hit on a lot of emotions, from ups and downs to cliffhangers. Leaving a cliffhanger is very, very important because you want to keep it as a what they call a page turner.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're reading a chapter and someone gets bored from the first 4 chapters,
they're gonna put it down.
Exactly, right. So with a thriller, you really got to keep that cliffhanger mentality where you got to keep,
people engaged.
Exactly.
And also make sure we're telling the truth, because we do have people who suffer from different mental disorders. So we wanted it to be as realistic as possible, because there are people who really do suffer from mental illnesses. So it's like you wanted to make sure that it was authentic, where when you read, like, okay, you know, if I have a cousin or whatever, like I know I have people in my family who suffer from mental illnesses, and I have my own battles at times. So it's like I wanted to be like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to incorporate this. Let's make sure it's real. Let's make sure we're telling the truth about what the struggles are when you're suffering from certain things. Because some people, you know, they look at people out here, they can't get it, they don't understand. But what the problem is, they don't either. They're in a battle of their own mind, and that's sometimes the worst place to be when you're fighting your own mind. So definitely wanted to make sure we touched on like the truth behind each mental illness that we did, you know, put in the book with these characters.
Gotcha. So Ramona, where did the title come from?
I'll be honest, it just came about. It just literally, I woke up one day and was like, oh, Ramona, I don't know, maybe you stick with me. If it sticks with me tomorrow, then it's a keeper. Because usually that's how I think of things. Like, even when I'm writing, because I started writing in music. So even in writing in music, if I hear some lyrics and they stick with me the next day, then it's meant to happen. If not, if I forget it, forget it. So Ramona just stuck around. So when I came to her with it, asked her if she liked it. She greenlit it. I said, that's confirmation.
Okay. That's cool.
And we did it as an acronym on purpose. Just so that because when I actually had a meeting with a publisher, actually had her look at the first draft that we did. And she said the one thing that stuck out with me was the fact that you did the title as an acronym. She said for whatever reason that brings a thrill in itself, like I want to read it. So one word, you know, straight to the point, brings that thrill. She said that's what you want to look for when you're trying to create a book and want to actually pick a title for a book. She said sometimes people pick titles that are too long, or they pick titles that don't really tell what the book's really about. Like you can't really get that engagement. So she said, before I look at a book, I want to see what the title is. I want to see the cover. It has to draw me in first for me to pick it up.
So that is true, because I have like my little reading group. I really got introduced to really reading. Like if it was school, I had to read, right? But everybody's not like a bookworm. So I never really was a bookworm. I was never like that. But shout out to my cousin Keita. She was just like, one day she said, no, you just got to find like a genre that that captures your attention. And she introduced me more to like urban literature. So that was like my thing. And then, but that's how she picked books. In our little book club, she would never read the synopsis. She would be like, she'll look at the cover, she'll look at the name, and she'll be like, y'all, I think this is the book. And I'm like, okay. And she'll be right every time. We're like, okay, Kitty, you picked a good book. And it was because of the cover and the title of it. So that's very true. Like a lot of people is very visual first. You don't really need to read what it's about. If you see that cover and it look dope, and you see it, it's like, okay, I think I'm gonna enjoy that one, you know. So, And I think we did a good job.
No,
on
I think
like,
the cover is definitely grabbed your eye for sure. And so, what got you into writing, like in general? Like, how did you start writing?
Like I said, I was back in music, and that was from my stepdad when he worked at LaFace Records. So being there and growing up around, people in music, obviously you're gonna want to have an interest in it at some point.
Yeah.
Then I took my first acting class, found that I actually liked that too. So got into acting a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of like the creative process of it all, like actually seeing things on paper come to life.
Yeah.
So doing that, I kind of got into script writing. So and trying to learn more of that, and I'm more of a visual person. I gotta be hands on. Like I like to be on set, or like to shadow a person.
Yeah.
That you can't just tell me how to do it. I want to actually be in the in the gut of it.
Gotcha.
So doing it, script writing, and then finally coming to her with the book, I was like, you know what? We're both learning this together. Why don't we take this journey together and try to figure it out? And years later, here we are. Yeah.
Well, for me, it was really like my personal journals. Like I would just write. It was like therapy for me.
Okay.
So nobody ever read it. Nobody ever saw it. Just like my own personal thoughts. But then I sing too. So just writing songs. Sometimes something comes to my head, so I jot it down. I write it down. And then when I got into the film industry, it was like, okay, now I'm around this world of like writers' rooms and all of this, and I'm like, okay, and then now I'm booking, I'm being on set myself, and I'm like, okay, and shout out to George Pierre for mentoring me, my family mentoring me, and showed me that world, the proper way, and guided me in it. So it was like my mind started to open, where I'm like, maybe I could, write something myself. This doesn't look as hard as we make it think it is, because again, it's so big. But that's how I started writing. So I did my hand like a little short I wrote. Again, it was kind of like my own personal little baby. But when Chat said she wanted to do this book together, I was like, okay, well let me give it a shot. I'm like, I wrote this short. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah. I was like, so let's try the book world. Let's give it a try. Like I told her, if it's not good, if you don't feel like my writing is up to par, please let me know. Don't be dragging me like dead weight. Like I don't want to hinder you, because I know you start this process before me. So like she says, it's been 11 years for her, but I came on, it's been like 6 for me. Okay. So, she's been having this on and off relationship with this book for a while. So I was like, I don't want to come in and not, fully help your vision come to light. So it was like her vision became my vision. I was like our little baby. So it's good to see that she's been born.
So how do you have 2 different people write one story? How do that work? Do y'all sit like and write together? Do you be like, oh well, hey, I wrote this chapter or whatever like that? What do you think? Like somebody come in and maybe revise, or do y'all put y'all ideas together and then like how do that work?
It was actually fun.
Yeah,
it was actually fun. Even though we both would have 2 different ideas about something. At first, we would start meeting at Starbucks. Yeah. That was in the middle of us. We'll meet at Starbucks, and we sitting there, and I'm like, ooh, I feel like it should be like this, and I'll say my perspective, and it's like, or we could do this. I'm like, yo, that's dope. So it was almost as if like we started out where I would write the way I would see it, she would write the way she would see it, and then we would merge them together. And then sometimes that was kind of taking a long time. Mm-hmm. So then we would meet, and if it seemed like my vision, I had like a real clear vision of the way this chapter should go with that character, she'd be like, okay, well, you write that chapter. So I'll write it, I'll send it to her, she'll make changes, she'll be like, okay, I like that, and then she'll do the same. If I can see that, I'm like, okay, Chad, you really, okay, you know what you're doing on this chapter, you take this one, then again, she'll send it to me, I'll read it, I'll add, or like, oh, we should take this away, save this for another chapter, or, so the process was pretty fun for us, even though we had different ideas at times, it actually worked. It didn't hinder us, or we didn't like bump heads or get hot-headed like, well, I don't think it was never that at all. It was always with ease every time.
The way we look at it is, I may see something, but she's my second pair of eyes. She may see something, I'm her second pair of eyes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's always a good thing to have, even in a writer's room where it's maybe 4 or 5 people, it doesn't matter. Ideas and opinions, you can always
just kind of bounce off of one another, and it can develop.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So, where did the idea for the book first originate for you?
Ooh, good question. For me, I dealt with mental illness myself. I've been to counseling, been to therapy. For me, certain things worked, some things didn't. And then I try to figure out, my spirituality that I'm in now. I'm trying to do things my own way. Not really not on my own way, but spirit led.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it like that. And so it's worked out better for me. That's just for me. And I just feel like in this book, the main character, Ramona, she tries not to be a pusher. A lot of the therapists that I've been to, they would push me a little bit. And sometimes I would reject that. So, depending on the person, we wrote this in 5 different perspectives, mind you. Each character has their own point of view. And the reason why we did that is because you may look at someone like, oh, he's crazy, he's bad, but then when you read his chapter from his point of view, you're like, oh, dang, now I see his story.
Yeah.
Now I can see what happened to him. So, we humanize the characters in here. We don't just make them villains. Even though the villains in here are protagonists or antagonists, we kind of show you another side of that person as well from another perspective. Same thing with a regular person in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
The therapist sees that person one way, but when they actually listen to their story, okay, now I can understand.
Okay. Yeah, y'all make me want to read the book. Okay. So, what was the most surprising thing that you guys learned about writing and about one another while working on this book together?
The creativity, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you how deep this book goes, there's a part 2, mind you. This is only part 1. Mm-hmm. So, how deep this book goes from everybody's backstory in this book, it shows you the amount of creativity and amount of thought that we put into this thing. That's one thing that really surprised me when I go back and actually look like, that we really did this. And not only that, even when I'm telling people a slight summary of it, and I'm not even saying everything, I'm just saying from one character's perspective. They're like, oh my God, I just want to read just off that one character. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited. We're both, super excited for people to really read it and get a chance to actually see what we've done, and I'm just glad that we're here at this point. I really
feel
am.
that. Yeah. It's
point.
like a long-awaited journey, huh?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We had hiccups.
Same to me. I was just like, I can't believe this came out of our brains.
Exactly.
Again, being actors, we're telling somebody else's story.
Yeah.
So it's not always our, even though we try to humanize it the best way we can, even if we've been in that situation or not. And just like Chastity, I have my own mental, struggle sometimes because I suffer from PTSD, anxiety, and depression at times. So sometimes when I'm in those states in my mind, it is a real struggle, and it gets dark and it gets scary, and people don't really understand it because when they see me, they're like, but you're always laughing and you're always joking or you're always so upbeat and this, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm literally a walking fighting, I'm fighting for my life every single day sometimes. And it's just with this book, it was so, when I first read it, it was because I wanted to be a psychiatrist when I grew up. That was my mind. I was like, oh, I want to be a psychiatrist in my own office. That was what I thought I was going to be doing, because God had other plans for me, which I'm totally fine with that. So being able to tell that story and, like you said, tell it from different perspectives, people struggling from these mental illnesses, it's I hope it gives people a better understanding and more grace to people who are suffering.
Don't just
judge. Don't just judge. Don't just think they're trying to be antisocial. They don't want to deal with you anymore, or they're mad at you. It's no, pick up that phone, because they may be literally one pill away, or one cut away, or one bullet away from taking their lives because they're struggling so bad, but you over here in your feelings, oh, you just don't want to talk to me. It's it literally has nothing to do with you. And sometimes people don't understand when you do go dark, people think, well, you just need to be around us. It's no, it don't work like that. It doesn't always feel good to feel the way I feel and be in a room full of people. Sometimes it makes me feel worse when I'm in a room full of people and I still feel like I'm by myself. And I'm in my mind the whole time. Everybody laughing around me, and I'm in my head you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. So that was like my biggest takeaway. Like, I want people to really understand that when you have somebody that's battling like that, please don't take things personal. Like, give that person some grace, because you really, unless you go through it, you really have no clue what that person really is battling in their mind on a day-to-day basis.
I can dig that. I think y'all kind of helped me with something too, and so that's what's up. Hey, things happen in mysterious ways, man. It's like a conversation that kind of just needs to be had. But so I want to give y'all the opportunity just to tell our viewers about the book, where and when they will be able to find the book, and then anything else that you may possibly just want to share about your experience in writing.
Well, definitely on Amazon next week. You'll be able to actually get the book on Amazon. Our ebook, we have a hardcover and paperback, so you'll be able to get all three. But one I do want to share that's a funny story was we were so dedicated with this book, right? To the point where I was literally in the hospital just at my second child. Still in the hospital. Hours later, we were on the phone with our editors having a meeting. She got on my ass for that.
Because I'm like,
you just
pushed
popped out a baby.
A whole human. Like, I could have handled the call, the notes, and just, included you in after you got some rest. I'm like, Chad, what is it? I'm all right. She sleep. She over here. She sleep. I'm like, okay, but you just pushed out a whole human, right? Like,
that's her first. That's her first baby.
Literally. Yes, literally. So this book does definitely come with love, even though it's a fiction, even though it's a thriller. We still want to show, that mental illness is real. It's really real, and it's not to be forgotten. It's not to be pushed aside or ignored or dismissed. Like, if you feel something, deal with it. If you see someone going through something, please be there for them. You never know who's going through what. So,
same.
Okay.
Like you say, ditto. Basically.
Awesome. Well, it has been my pleasure to tap in with y'all on In the Cut, man. Chastity, Monica. Y'all need to make sure that y'all go grab Ramona, okay? To an Amazon website near you, you know what I'm saying? Coming soon, okay? So y'all make sure y'all tap in, and y'all keep up with On Blast Radio Atlanta, because we're going to keep y'all up with Ramona and these wonderful self-published authors. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.